Ba-bum, bum, ba-bum. What's up, guys? We're here with Jason Cinema.
Mr. James Hsu.com.
We're at AMC, and today
it is Halloween.
Dun 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 dun.
Best way to celebrate is with us here at the movies, AMC Town Square, here for Terminator Dark Fate, the
return of Miss Linda Hamilton,
the 6th installment.
Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger
of Terminator.
Mackenzie Foy?
Yes.
Yes.
August 29th, 1997. 3 billion lives were lost. It was known as Judgment Day. Luckily, a woman named Sarah Connor was able to deter Terminator from killing her son John Connor, who would help fight the resistance and defeat Skynet and all. But now, here we are in modern day, and we have Terminator Dark Fate to learn a whole bunch of what has gone on in the world. You love Terminator 1 and Terminator 2?
I didn't love 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, honestly.
Kyle Reese?
Yeah, didn't love it.
No, but
No.
you love Terminator 2.
Oh, well, I mean, Terminator 2, is that the greatest sequel of all time? Maybe.
Maybe. It's up
Yeah,
there.
maybe. I don't know. I don't even know that answer.
I would say, arguably, like, I would think if you just looked up lists and everything like that, it would either be Godfather 2 or Terminator 2.
Never seen Godfather. 1 or 2 or 3.
You're slacking.
And won't.
But, Terminator 2. Terminator 3, meh. Meh.
Number 3, honestly, was
Rise of
just
Machines?
and that was during the hot streak of the blonde Terminator.
Yes, the
Juliet.
yes.
Leonardo
I don't-
DiCaprio.
I don't remember her name. But yes, she was
Claire Danes,
Clara Danes.
who I think is beautiful.
Yes, but not much of an impact as far as the movie.
No.
Then we had Salvation with Christian Bale, where we had the young Arnold,
And
it was like the young
we had
Terminator.
the amazing the rent.
Clip,
Yeah,
yes.
the amazing rant.
But not a movie that I remember. I honestly don't even really remember what happens.
I remember the rant more than the movie.
Yes.
And that's
And I
not a
remember
good thing.
like everyone's like, young Arnold's in this, you know? Then there was Genesis, which was bringing back Arnold, and then going back kind of like to the old stuff.
I don't think I like
don't
Jason
remember.
Clarke.
Yeah, that's right. That's who was
Yeah,
in it.
I don't think I
I
like
don't
him.
remember who was in it, to
Yeah,
be
I don't
honest.
think I like him
A movie that I also thought
as an
was very
actor.
forgettable.
I'm sure he's a great guy.
And now we have bringing back the one thing that I think everyone's been wanting who loves Terminator, and that's Linda Hamilton, with the driving force of T2, Sarah Connor. Now, Tim Miller, director of Deadpool, takes on this movie. Mr. James Hsu, does this Terminator stand against the machine?
Well, we didn't say this takes place right after 2, and they're acting as if 3, 4, 5 never even happened.
When you say right after 2, you mean it's a direct connection to 2.
It's a direct sequel.
Yes, because it's take place modern time. What'd you think?
It's alright.
It's alright.
Yeah. I'll
All
give
that
it a,
build for that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. I will give it a. Maybe my answer will change, but I'll give it like a. Honestly, dude.
Okay, but let's talk. Okay, let's talk about some
5
things.
out of 10.
So, okay, so a half.
It wasn't horrible.
Okay, so how do you feel? So, well, let's just talk about the points. What did you like? What didn't you like? What things stood out?
Well, 5 out of 10. So for me, it was just okay.
Yes.
So I don't really think I liked really anything, honestly.
Okay.
But I didn't hate anything either.
Did anything stand out though? Any action beats?
The new Terminator, this visual effects was cool.
At times, there were some questionable moments, but
well, even
a
the
lot of
opening
it.
screen.
Yes, the opening-
The
the
opening
opening
scene
scene, yeah.
when they're coming out of the ocean.
yeah,
It looks like a video game.
Yes.
That's not a compliment.
no,
And so I'm looking, I'm like, how does the 92?
Terminator.
How does the 92
practical
T2
effects.
look better than the opening scene of this one? I was already just like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it was very effects heavy, and sometimes you knew where the budget was spent, and then sometimes you don't. They save a lot of it for the ending. They did the opposite of what we usually give movies crap
Yeah.
for. They were like, oh, we gotta save that for the end.
Yeah.
Because there were some sequences where I was like, oh, because like the very first big action sequence we get, I think, with the Terminator, probably looks the roughest. The second one in the border area, I thought was better, and then I think the third one looks probably the best. But okay, so just man,
Linda Hamilton, I love her, but I felt that, and I don't mean any disrespect by this, even though this is probably disrespectful.
Yes.
I felt that this was like a Carrie Fisher moment where Carrie Fisher hadn't really been in much on screen.
Yes.
I know she did a lot of voiceover work, but she hadn't done a lot of on-screen, or at least I didn't see her in a lot of on-screen stuff.
Yes.
And so the acting felt a little rusty, maybe is the right word. And I felt she was a little rusty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just felt like the scenes, I don't know. And then they made her extra rough. But you made a good point.
The character has had has pretty rough life, you know.
And the turn that they twist us on, that was,
which I guess
was okay.
It's not a spoiler because it happens quite early in the movie. Actually, it is the opening
of
the movie, but it is a spoiler. So I guess we'll talk about that aspect later, because it really does change the entire aspect of the movie. So I mean, it's hard to even...
Mackenzie Foy, just cool. You know, cool. The
new the future.
The future. Our new John Connor.
Yes. Cool.
That's all I got, dog. It wasn't great for me.
So for me, the movie is very much T2. It is very much... I read an early review like this was going to be The Force Awakens in the sense that it's a reboot sequel. Mm-hmm. Very much feels that way. You have, you know, this new character, this new Terminator that's being sent back. You have this new protector sent back to protect this one particular subject from being killed. And, you know, the movie follows suit. And, of course, it's the really cool Terminator just chasing the good guys. For me here, I think my majority of my issues fall in... First, the new storyline, the new characters that we meet. This movie made no impact for me whatsoever. I didn't like... you know, we have this really main character named Danny that plays a really, really important role. And she's not a character at all. She literally just is a speech mongol. Every scene that she has any line in, it's just to prep everyone up and say, okay, let's go forward. Okay, let's go forward. No, we have to have courage, let's go forward. Like, she's literally just a line. She's not a full character. There's nothing about her. John Connor and Sarah Connor were such developed characters, and this one just feels very one note. She's the one they gotta protect. That's what she is. Not much more. The new and improved good Arnold, the...
Carl.
Yes, yes. For me, I don't understand why bother. I mean, I guess that's kind of hard to get into again with
I forgot to mention those. I even said this when we walked over. Just no more Arnold. Yeah. And I love Arnold. It's nothing against Arnold Schwarzenegger, but just no more. Like,
well, one thing we talked about, because I guess we'll just get into more specifics after spoilers, but one thing you mentioned before going into this movie that I think made a really good point is just, why do the same thing? You have this huge universe full of material and a huge timeline to mess with and to explore.
We got a little
why
sample
do the
of the
same
future.
thing? Yes, we did
but
get a
again,
little sample, but nothing
sample.
more. Yeah, which you said. Well, you were very specific. You said, why not just set it during the War of the Machines?
Yeah, give us the year 3000.
Yeah, the War of the Machines. But
it's a full-on war.
For me,
There's more robots than humans.
For me, I don't even know if I would have needed that. I mean, for me, this...
Well, then you don't even need a story, because we've done this and we've now done the future.
No, but I feel like
Terminators.
I feel like I would have rather watched what happened to Linda Hamilton to get to this point. I think following that character would have been, you know, a little bit interesting more journey. I think you could explore characters like Kyle Reese or other aspects in a really fun way. If you have to keep, because I mean, at this point, why remake Terminator? Why do another Terminator?
Well,
if you
see,
just
even what you're saying don't sound appealing to me. Just no more. Move on. Not no more movies. Move on.
But then why make Terminator? Because the only reason why they're doing that is because they have that property that's going to make sense.
No, make Terminator movies. You don't need the same characters.
Yeah, but that's what makes the money. That's what drives the people. But obviously, I honestly...
It's getting tiresome.
Yeah, I know. I 100%
and
agree.
It's going downhill.
But that's what we do today in the modern world of movies. We milk it dry, you know. I mean, that's what we do, and that's kind of a bummer.
The teat.
But okay, we're gonna get into spoilers because I really can't talk about Arnold and some of the other stuff. But I don't think the new characters brought a new dynamic. While I thought the new Terminators and the technology was fine, it wasn't anything new. It was a lot of comebacks to the original. There's a whole helicopter piece, still nowhere near as impressive as Terminator 2's helicopter scene. I mean, flying that helicopter under that thing still blows my mind every time I watch that scene. I thought the new Arnold really didn't add much, and you want to make this movie very serious, but you make a lot of comedic jokes that just take away from the movie, I think. And for me, the real kind of, you know, the red light shutting off for me in this movie was just the overall, what they did with the lore of Terminator. And again, we can't really get into that without spoilers, but where the direction they took this story and what the outcome was of all of it just felt very wasted. And lazy. So starting from now on, we're going to be talking spoilers. Movie opens. We have a very young Linda Hamilton
that looked amazing.
Post T2. And then
that de-aging looked amazing.
And then we have Edward Furlong, who's...
That de-aging looked amazing.
Which we only get a very, very good glimpse, and we have some audio. And
the audio was his voice, and then when at the end of that scene, when he gets shot and killed.
It's insane.
That looked amazing.
So, as Mr. Hsu revealed, in the very beginning we find out that there were multiple Terminators sent out to kill John Connor.
That all looked like Arnold.
And even though John Connor and Sarah Connor saved the day and destroyed what would become Skynet with T2, one of the remaining Terminators still finished his mission and killed John Connor, leaving Sarah Connor to go into a alcoholic rage and totally disappear off the face of the earth until she was given text messages to start killing Terminators. So what we find out is that Skynet is not real. Cyberdyne, Skynet, the creation of the Terminators, the T-800s, the T-1000s, none of it happens. There's now a company so creatively called Legion. Like, it just sounds like an awful name and a lazy name. It sounds like a bad what's a bad corporation?
Legion.
Legion.
Yeah.
And we're just supposed to accept the fact that there is this new character that's going to play the role against the war against the machines, and now we're just back in the same scenario, while also simultaneously trying to make it digestible for the viewer to go back to meet the Terminator, who now has a life and a family and cracks jokes and has a dog and all that stuff. I just think it takes away a lot of the and it's such the movie. The first two Terminators are just so smart, and there's so much there. And these movies they do really feel like just someone is sitting there like, let's just make something else out of this really creative thing and just suck every last. It just feels lazy. It feels like
I didn't like any of that storyline or Arnold and a family.
Yes, I didn't either.
I personally didn't like any of that.
And so he's lying about it. He really doesn't have the emotions, but yet he has a conscience enough to always risk himself. There's too many inconsistencies, but I mean, I'm not even going to bother getting into that because for me, again, I think anyone will watch this movie and just be like, oh, it was very much like T2, but also be like, this movie just doesn't, this is out of canon for me. Like many people, I still believe T1 and T2 is how that movie went and how that story ends, because this one, I just don't buy Arnold having having a family, cracking jokes, and what does Arnold do in the future? What does the Terminator do? What's the most creative thing 5 writers in a room could come up with? He puts up drapes. Stupid. Just stupid. Like, why? Why? Do you want to be serious? Do you want to tell a story? Do you want to be creative? Or do you literally just want to do the Arnold's old joke again? What's a tough guy do? Puts up drapes. Like, come on. Like, that's just lazy writing. That's bad writing. And again, like, every time Danny opens her mouth, it's, come on. The fate's not real. Forget fate. Like, it's such poor writing. It's just lazy. And I hate that movies take properties, literally drain them dry, and then leave them to be in ruin. And it's just a bummer.
It's crazy.
In all honesty, it motivates me so much so that in probably the next 20 years, I will design something relatively like the Terminator to send back to 2007, maybe 6, and stop stop Terminator Salvation and stop the recreations of all the other Terminators. So that's how important I feel like it's my mission is to stop this from happening, because they're just killing a legacy now that doesn't need to be killed. Again, I don't think it's the worst 2 hours you'll spend either, but it's just like, why am I watching this? I might as well just watch T2. Anyway.
We saw that in theater.
Happy Halloween, huh?
T2.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
Still holds up. Anyway, happy Halloween.
Yes, have a safe Halloween. Hope you guys all enjoyed your candy. Next week, we're going back to, let's guess, another property we're touching back. The Shining returns in Dr. Sleep.
But the one I'm watching, the romantic
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. Only it's just called Last Christmas. Yes, Last Christmas.
I'm watching that one.
But also, the other movie.
I have no idea.
Dr. Sleep. Oh, and Midway as well. Oh, an Irishman. I don't know the status of Irishman. Yeah, I don't know how that will be released, but that is something to be attuned to. And then we'll really see what de-aging technology can do.
And a lot of people said it's
unbelievable.
The movie's like like
the great yeah. But I don't think you'll feel that way.
I won't even watch it.
Yeah, that's not good. But I mean, Scorsese is one of the greats. Anyone who grew up like really, well, I mean, there are I guess exceptions, but who really love film, Scorsese is the be all end all, and this is supposedly his Sistine Chapel, his masterpiece, and it's about these men who've all come and gone, and now it's time for the one last shebang, and it really is one last shebang, so it kind of feels all too real. So I'm excited to see that.
Won't watch it.
Fair enough.
But if you want to, you can.
All here at AMC Town Square next week. Make sure to join us because we're here every single time. Comment below, Texas Guy 702-345-618, and let us know.
JasonSim.com is known as
the Film Lovers website.